In 2023, where the vast majority depend on their cell phones or smartwatches to give the current time, burning through a great many dollars on a mechanical top-of-the-line watch might appear to be completely crazy. Be that as it may, watches are something other than timekeeping gadgets. They are wearable masterpieces and frequently act as mentors. Today, we will be exhibiting the main 10 most costly extravagance watch brands on the planet, alongside their entrance-level costs. Try to keep close by until the end. Number 10. Jaeger-LeCoultre. The brand Jaeger-LeCoultre was established in 1833 by Antoine Lecoultre in Switzerland, and its watches have been worn by big names, for example, Charlie Chaplin, and all the more as of late by Jay-Z and Pac Harrington. The brand has spearheaded the littlest mechanical watch development on the planet, set standards for the most slender watch development, made one of the most convoluted watches on the planet, and presented the millionometer, the primary instrument equipped for estimating a micrometer. The ongoing section-level watch from Jaeger-LeCoultre, the Reverso Exemplary Monoface, can be obtained beginning from $4,300. Number 9. Rolex. Rolex is ostensibly the most famous extravagance watch brand and started in 1905 in London as an organization called Wilsdorf and Davis. The pioneer was German business visionary Hans Wilsdorf, who banded together with his brother, by marriage, Davis. Wilsdorf perceived a rewarding business sector for wristwatches some time before his rivals, and the brand filled in fame. In 1926, Rolex became well known with the presentation of the primary completely waterproof watch, the Shellfish. Today, Rolex watches are inseparable from extravagance and achievement, turning into a staple among the well-off and renowned. Strangely, the name Rolex is a creation by Wilsdorf himself. The beginning cost of Rolex watches is around $5,000. As a matter of fact, the most costly Rolex, Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona, was sold at a surprising cost of $17.8 million at a closeout. Additionally, at ninth spot, Jacob & Company. Jacob Arabeau started his excursion into the universe of fine gems and looks as a 16-year-old understudy. Presently, in 1986, Arabeau established his own extravagance name, Jacob & Company. For the people who care barely at all about a customary dial, Jacob & Company is the ideal decision. The brand stands apart for its excellent innovativeness. Here you can get a watch embellished with a roulette table, a mythical serpent, or a piano as the dial. The assortment, like the Astronomia, sets new principles. It includes profoundly complex manifestations, for example, a noticeable turning nearby planet group encased in a glass case. The costs for these watches frequently surpass the $1 million mark. The most costly watch from Jacob & Company is the Tycoon, which has acquired distinction with a sticker price of $18 million. Throughout the long term, a few of these very rich person pieces have been created. It is realized that something like one of them was offered to boxing star Floyd Mayweather. The beginning cost of the watches, very much like Rolex, is around $5,000, and subsequently both watch brands share the 10th spot in our positioning. Number 8. Blancpain. Blancpain was established in 1735 and is the most seasoned watch producer on the planet. Jean-Jacques Blancpain began watchmaking in a little Swiss town, and the Swiss watch brand stayed in family proprietorship for almost 200 years until it turned into an auxiliary of the Pattern Gathering in 1992. The Blancpain 50 spans assortment has developed starting around 1953 to become one of the most dependable and generally utilized jumpers watches. The beginning cost of Blancpain watches is around $13,000. Number 7. Vacheron Constantin. Vacheron Constantin was established in 1755 and is viewed as the most seasoned ceaseless watchmaker on the planet. In 1790, they are credited with making the principal known entanglements for a really long time and dates. They likewise created the initial 6 watches with quarter repeaters, which can toll the hours and quarter hours upon the wearer's solicitation. At the point when Georges Auguste joined the organization in 1839, he had the option to normalize the watch developments into types, changing the watch business. The beginning cost of Vacheron Constantin watches is around $13,000, as seen with the 56 programmed model. Number 6. Breguet. As one of a handful of the extravagance watch brands established in France, Breguet is settled in Switzerland. Abraham Louis Breguet was a Swiss watchmaker who laid out his watchmaking business in Paris in 1775. Among the numerous renowned names who inclined toward Breguet watches is, as a matter of fact, Napoleon Bonaparte himself. The most popular creation is the Marie Antoinette, a pocket watch charged by a previous spouse of the sovereign of France, Marie Antoinette, to make this dynamite watch. The culmination required 40 years and the pocket watch is esteemed at $30 million. The maxim of the organization is, each lady is a sovereign. The passage costs for this brand start at $15,000. Number 5. A. Lang and Son. In 1845, Ferdinand Adolf Lang established the organization, and his two most seasoned children joined the fatherly business in 1868, which then became known as A. Lang and Son. The German extravagance watch producer is known for only creating mechanical developments. The beginning cost for these watches is around $17,300, here, for the Saxonia Meager. Prominent wearers of A. Lang & Son watches incorporate Ed Sheeran and Bill Clinton. With the extravagance watch Terrific Confusion, A. Lang & Son features the most costly watch in Germany, addressing a work of art of watchmaking. The model made of rose gold elements 7 inconveniences and comprises of 876 sections. Experts chipped away at it for a considerable length of time. There are just 6 models around the world, each estimated at roughly $2 million. Number 4. Patek Philippe. The watch producer. Patek was established in 1839 by Antoine Norbert de Patek and François Sapec, and it stays the last autonomous family-claimed watch producer in Geneva right up to the present day. In 1845, Sapec left the organization, and Patek acquired the French watchmaker Jean-Adrien Philippe. The brand is viewed as the designer of the winding crown. This component in a general sense had an impact on the way watches were utilized at that point, dispensing with the requirement for a different key to wind the development or put down the point in time. All watches are produced in-house and are viewed by the brand as elite pieces with their own mark of value, exhibiting their high craftsmanship and unwavering quality. The section-level cost for the brand begins at $18,600, here for the Aquanaut with a program development. At the first spot on the list of the most costly Patek Philippe watches ever is the Grandmaster Toll 6300 A010. It is the main Patek Philippe watch made of hardened steel, and it is a genuine magnum opus of watchmaking, consolidating 20 complexities. Known as the one to focus on, it was made explicitly for just watch, a cause watch closeout. The world's best watchmakers make colorful, unique, normally exceptional looks for the bartering to collect the most cash for beneficent purposes, and this was Patek Philippe's commitment for 2019. The watch changed hands at the sale for $31 million, making it one of the most costly watches ever. Number 3. Audemars Piguet. Audemars Piguet was established in 1875 by Jules Louis Audemars and Edward Auguste Piguet. The brand united the customary underpinnings of watchmaking with the advancing specialized abilities of the time. At the point when the illustrious oak Seaward was first presented in 1993, it was viewed as abnormally huge with its 42 mm distance across for that period. The watches convey solidness and flexibility, in the long run catching the consideration of famous people like Jay-Z and Leo Messi, and impacting watch patterns. The passage cost for the brand begins at $20,700, as seen with the Regal Oak Quartz model. The joint effort with Wonder Diversion denotes another part throughout the entire existence of illustrious oak idea, highlighting a progression of hero character watches, beginning with the Dark Puma version. Restricted to just 250 pieces, it exhibits a case made of sandblasted titanium with a dark clay bezel and crown, alongside a stupendous dial highlighting an etched, hand-painted white gold Dark Puma. The assessed cost for this watch is around $170,000. Number 2. FP Genet. FP Genet, established by François-Paul Genet in 1999, follows the watchmaking customs of the 1800 years. In 1992, Genet made his most memorable wrist watch with a remontoir framework, which he had recently created for a pocket watch. This in the long run turned into the model for the Tourbillon Souverain watches, which acquired extraordinary accomplishment upon their presentation in 1999. FP Genet is generally a more up-to-date watch brand. The watches are intended to keep going for quite a long time while keeping up with their dependable exhibition. They satisfy the guidelines of the most insightful watch authorities, with a yearly creation of less than 900 watches and their inventive developments made with perplexing subtleties. The Astronomic Blue is the most costly watch from the brand, which was unloaded for $1.9 million at the main watch good cause sell-off in 2019. The model development, alongside its exceptional blue chrome dial and extraordinary tantalum case, makes the FP Genet Astronomic Blue perhaps of the main fine art in the watch world. The passage costs for FP Genet start from $26,000 and upwards. Number 1. Richard Mille. Richard Mille, beating our rundown of the most costly watch brands, has been dynamic in the watchmaking business starting around 1974. It was his drive to make progressive extravagance watches that drove him to send off his own image in 1999. Mille planned his most memorable watch in 2001, consolidating procedures and materials utilized in the development of planes and Equation 1 race vehicles. One of the brand's initial trademarks was a hustling machine on the wrist. With its tunnel-molded case looking like a barrel contortion, he laid out the mark style of his image. As the parts are bended, these watches are troublesome and costly to make. Because of the mind-boggling creation cycle and top-of-the-line parts, these watches are profoundly restricted in amount. The at present least expensive RM is allegedly the RM and additional 016 level, evaluated at $60,000. It ought to be noticed that it is intriguing to find a RM watch for under $100,000. The most costly watch by Richard Mille, as indicated by media reports, is the Tourbillon RM56-02 Sapphire, esteemed at $2 million. This watch includes a three-piece sapphire glass case, which permits an immediate perspective on the complexities of the sensitive development. The base plate is made of titanium, and the case is water-safe up to 30 meters. Just 10 bits of this restricted version model were delivered. That finishes up our rundown of the main 10 most costly extravagance watch brands on the planet. We know that there are numerous other extravagance watch brands out there, so assuming you would like us to keep displaying a greater amount of these brands, if it's not too much trouble, let us in the remarks. Likewise, we have another inquiry for you. What is your undisputed top choice watch brand?